Hello and welcome to this, episode 30 in the Temple Adventures of Lobsang Lud. I'm Kitech, this is Lobsang Lud's ship, the USS Stitch in Time, a lovely Sovereign class vessel here, and we're sitting just outside the Badlands where we finished our last episode, having defeated Gul, was it Kardec? And retrieved the Orb of Possibilities from him, despite his I would like to say his flirtation with Lita from the Mirror Universe. So now let's go and pick up our next mission, Jabberwocky, I believe it is called, yes. And let's see what that's in store for us.
You have recovered the Orb of Possibilities from Gul Kardec. No doubt you are being pursued by True Way forces. You must return the orb to the temple in Hathon. I have notified Vedic Kryn. She is waiting for you in the temple.
Okay, so we need to return the Orb of Possibilities to the temple in Hathon on Bajor. We'll receive the following rewards: 17,000 experience points, 19,000 expertise, 384 dilithium, and one of the following, some sort of armor or a personal shield. Well, our characters are a bit light on both armor and shields. We haven't really gotten any good armor for a number of levels. And the same goes for the weaponry. We're only on like 8 captains and we are a rear admiral. So that's not so great, but we can try and see what we can do. So let's move on and accept the mission.
How can I help you?
And let's head to Bajor. Luckily it's not that far away. Okay, we're approaching Bajor now. We've got Deep Space Nine and the Bajoran wormhole off the side there. But we want Bajor. Not the wormhole or DS9. Let's head around the sun. And there's we go. Let's begin Jabberwocky. We've arrived in the Bajor system, sir. We are, sir, detecting Cardassian warp signatures. It's the True Way. They're hailing us. On screen.
I am Gul Mutak of the Kriegar, Adjutant General to Gul Kardec. You are carrying stolen property belonging to the True Way. Lower your shields and prepare to be boarded.
Are you insane? We're in orbit of Bajor. We could have ships here in a moment. He's cut off communications and is powering up weapons. What are your orders, sir? Hail Deep Space Nine.
Sarish here.
Commander, we've been ambushed by the True Way in the orbit of Bajor.
In the orbit of Bajor? But how could they? Nerve of the... Sorry, I'm okay. I will borrow the Defiant and be there momentarily.
I mean, borrow it? I thought it was your ship, assigned to your station. You don't need to borrow it. Hey, Mom, Dad, can I have the keys of the car? You know, sir, can I have the keys of the Defiant? Not quite the same, you know. But okay, we'll hold out as long as we can. Alright, red alert. Load phasers, photon torpedoes. Fire as you bet. Oh, there's a Defiant. Better late than never. All 3 Hidekis weren't that hard, were they?
Good. You're still in one piece. Let's teach these Cardis a lesson.
Now. Calm down and watch it with the ethnic slurs. We appreciate your zeal, but don't get carried away. I see a coronal distortion. Let's deal with these ships though before we deal with that temporal probe. Okay, bring us up. Full spread on the torpedoes, please. Get ready with a tachyon beam to try and strip some of their shields. Take the Krieger first. It's in the boarding party as well. Shields are down. Get those shields back up. Another full spread from the rear. Need help. Send in the photonic fleet. Boost power to the weapons. Keep those shields facing them. That was close. They drop a neutronium alloy. Take that, definitely.
That's the last of them for now. I will remain in orbit while you return the orb, just in case.
Thank you, Bait Commander. No, Tarsi, we're not ready to beam down just yet. You have to pick up this stuff. Plasma infuser, handy. Ship needs repairs. And a good captain will watch and make sure his ship's repaired first. Another monotanium alloy, and some Tetrion heavy cannons. Nice. But we also have to scan this chronal distortion. And see what that'll get us. Now, let's see. Flippy magic square of that word thing and not another password. Please, 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 please. Oh. Patak! Okay, let's... First digit, is it a 1? There are no 1s. There are no 2s. The first digit is a 3. Okay, so second digit, is that going to be a 3 as well? Yes! Change digit, third digit, is that a 3? No, there's no more 3s, okay. So the last digit's a 4, so this must be 3354. Yep, there we go. See, that didn't take too long, did it? There's a communique in this probe. Looks like standing orders for Nakul operatives in this region. Let's see it. Oh, it didn't show us the thing. Let's take the items. Polaron sniper rifle. Good, we can always use more weapons. See what it actually says this time. The Bajor and orbs represent one of our best opportunities for victory. Stay alert for any opportunities to acquire one. This area of space is prone to visits from the so-called mirror universe. In the event of a meeting with individuals from that dimension, do not engage in combat unless fired upon. Take all measures necessary to prevent injury or death to the Terran Admiral known as Lita. Curious. Curious. The Nakul might be trying to forge an alliance with the Terran Empire. Okay. Now we can beam down. We've found out that natty bit of lore that they're trying to do that. Let's beam down. Headache, Kryn indicates she's waiting for you at the temple. Okay, let's take that orb to her then, shall we? So here we are on Bajor. Ah, transporter room there. Someone's in a hurry. Looks like some problems right here. That can't be good. Go to this priest. Sorry.
Greetings. Do you seek the wisdom of the prophets?
What do you do?
I am a seeker of knowledge. I spend my days in service and prayer. The prophets have many things to teach us, but their lessons are subtle and full of mystery. It takes a quiet, attentive mind to understand. I am not as wise as Ranjan Ravel, but he is always willing to help pilgrims like me find our way. I may never fully grasp the wisdom of the prophets, but I can try. The journey to enlightenment is a blessing in of itself. If that is all I ever have, it is enough.
Okay.
Greetings. Do you seek the wisdom of the prophets?
No, I am looking for Vedic Kryn.
Vedic Kryn is in the temple office, just to the east of here.
Thank you. May the prophets guide you. Hello, Ranjan Raval. I am Rear Admiral. Oh, that sounds weird, still saying that. Rear Admiral of Sanglud, and I have some.
How can I help you?
What do you do?
Peace be with you.
My task is to convey the wisdom of the prophets to the people of Hathon. The ways of the celestial temple are mysterious. What can be understood, however, is love. The prophet's love surrounds us. It is in every rock and tree of Bajor. It is on a warm summer breeze and in the smile of a loved one. When the emissary walked among us, he was the voice of the prophets. Now it falls to servants like me to try and follow in his footsteps.
How can I help you?
Can you tell me about these books?
These are all ancient tomes, dealing with the prophets and our history with them. My people have studied the ways of the Celestial Temple for thousands of years. Much of that knowledge has been retained. We are fortunate to have the words of our ancestors preserved in this fashion.
I'd like to read them if I may. Bit of a bookworm, you know, high flyer, etc. Wow, okay. I'll read The Exorcism of Borealis. 2 days ago, my master and I were called to the home of Borealis, a farmer whose home was near the Kola Mountains. Borealis was tied to a bed in a darkened room. His wife told me that he had been restrained to keep him from harming himself. It may have been too late. By the time we had arrived, Borealis had already clawed out his own eyes. There was no time to lose. I, a lowly Ranjan, could not help this poor afflicted man. Only the light of the prophets could drive the Par-Wraith out of him. My master's soft-spoken prayers were met with howls of rage. The being lurking inside Borealis could not stand the pain and lashed out. He managed to break the restraints holding him to the bed and lunged at my master, knocking over the incense burner we were using and set the curtain ablaze. I struggled to hold Borealis so that the Vedic could finish driving Par-Wraith out of his body. He was strong, almost supernaturally so, and soon we were both bloody. I can still hear the Vedic's chants. Taradak, Inshalem Ram Embam, Deram Ta Imain. His voice, like his faith, never wavered. At the last, Borellus raised his eyes. He looked at me and said, "You will find it, Corral. You are the harbinger, and where you go, the reckoning follows." Then, with a final anguished scream, it was gone, and Borellus was free. Power rates are creatures of lies. My master tells me not to worry about what the creature inside Borellus said, but as the days go by, I find myself dwelling on his words again and again. The archaeologists working at Valhalla have asked for volunteers, and my master has given me leave to join them. Perhaps, in the ancient city, I will find peace. Proclamation of the Prophet Renan. Be at peace with the world. Only through acceptance of the trials of this existence can you learn from them. Darkness will extinguish the light. Good men will die. The people will be beset by tribulations and strife. You cannot change these things. The only things you can change is yourself. Be at peace with yourself. You are not perfect. You will be tempted. You will act against the teachings of the prophets. Understand that these things will happen and accept them. Acknowledge your failings. The reed that grows in still water will snap when the wind begins to blow. Be at peace with the prophets. The paths to the celestial temple are without number, and those who dwell within cannot be understood by anybody who has never stood in their presence. The prophets teach us and guide us. They are not here to smooth the path, only to help us understand why the rocks are here. The prophecies of Minas Tirith. When the people became one of many peoples, they will face many trials. The first trial will be a trial of light. A shard from a distant star will fall to the ground. It will be prized by many, and its light will illuminate many evils. Many will try to claim the star, but none will be able to hold it. It will cut the hand of those who try to touch it, and their blood will spill upon the ground. The second trial is a trial of darkness. Spiders spin webs in corners untouched by time. A mother will be carried away on black wings, and her children will cry in the wilderness. Only when the hero meets himself can this trial be overcome. The last is the trial of fire. A viper bound in chains of flame will stir in his sleep. Mountains will crack and tumble, and the seas will rise up and swallow the people. The tears of the keepers will fall onto the dust, and new life will burst forth from the ashes. Hope you're enjoying my dramatic readings here. Death Chance. Rakaja Utshala Moral. I'm not going to bother. Do not let him walk alone. Guide him on his journey. Protect the one named. Take him onto the gates of heaven. Prophets, grant unto your servant forgiveness. Receive him with gladness, and grant him a place at your side for eternity. Let their souls live forever in the celestial temple. Bless and keep the souls of the one named, etc. So what read that? Keys to Enlightenment. The first key to enlightenment is charity. Give everything you can to others. Help in an hour of need. Heal the sick. Feed the hungry. Comfort the grieving. Give directions to the lost. For when you love another enough to give of yourself, then you love as the prophets love us. The second key to enlightenment is humility. Put aside your pride and accept your place in the prophet's plan. In the school of the Spirit, one learns wisdom through humility, knowledge by forgetting, how to speak in silence, and how to live through death. The final key to enlightenment is faith. Have faith in the prophets and in their plan for you. Believe in their love for you. and they will protect and keep you close through any storm. You do not need knowledge of the prophets if you have faith. Faith is a knowledge that lives within the heart. It is beyond the reach of proof. So, observation to the Days of Atonement. There is no one among us who is perfect. Everyone has faltered. Everyone has been tempted. Even Nakai's faith can be tested. The prophets understand this and love us despite our failings. They do, however, ask us to atone and seek forgiveness for the wrongs that we do. First, you must seek the forgiveness of the prophets. This is the easiest step of the journey, for all it takes is to admit your failings and seek absolution. Do this sincerely, and you will be forgiven. But while the forgiveness of the prophets is a powerful force, you must also seek forgiveness from those you have wronged. Go to the man or woman you hurt and tell them how sorry you are. Offer to make amends. Understand their pain, for you share it with them. And if the person you harmed was yourself, it is more important than ever to atone and forgive. There is no love without forgiveness, and no forgiveness without love. And prepare yourself with prayer before you ask for forgiveness. Open your heart and understand not only what you have done wrong, but also why you did it. And if someone asks forgiveness of you, give it gladly and with an open heart. Forgiveness does not mean denying responsibility or misdeed. Nor does it mean minimizing or justifying that wrong. All you must do to forgive is to set the pain free so that the scars on your soul can heal. Can I get an amen? And then 3 more over here. 4 more. Cooking for the fasts. When the Vedic first assigned me the task of writing a guide for cooking for fasts, I was skeptical. After all, most people find what I must do to be difficult. Some even find the feasts we prepare to be an insult. They feel that we are tempting them to break their fast and break their covenant with the prophets. Nothing could be further from the truth. When cooking for fast, remember that the food will not be eaten. Rather, the spirit of the food will be consumed by the prophets. Create dishes that are pleasing to the eye. Use fragrant herbs and spices that perfume the air. Heated dishes that release steam will carry their essence to the celestial temple, as do the bubbles in the finest of spring wines. Hasperat that sears the eyes and burns the tongue with is essential. Make it spicier than you would normally. The prophets will enjoy the variety. Also, while you're fasting, be sure to take care of yourself. Rest often, drink water, and avoid strenuous exercise. Monitor your health, and if it starts to suffer, break your fast with gratitude. The prophets deserve your devotion, but they do not require you to sacrifice your life for them. Fasting should be a spiritual experience where you feed your soul. Risking your life serves no one. I hope my poor words have been of some use. Blessings of the prophets to you. Recorded on this, the 4th day of the Gratitude Festival in the year 2047 by Ranjin Nagal at the Kailash Monastery. Read Haran's 7th prophecy. He will come to the palace, bearing no malice, carrying a chalice filled with sweet wine. In his hands will be 7 branches, and on his brow 7 stars. He will be wrapped in cloth of many colours, and spread joy where'er he goes. He will be admitted to the palace, and seated at the right hand of the throne. He will speak of many things with the emissary, and their words will bring great wisdom to the people. The people will bring many gifts to him, and in return he will give them treasures beyond price. The land will be at peace. And when the moon shines in the day, and night is bright with sun, watch for his coming. Spread a table for him with red cloth and burned fragrant herbs. Celebrate, for he is their herald. When he arrives, the people and the prophets will be as one. Observations for the Gratitude Festival. The Gratitude Festival is a happy occasion that most Bajorans observe. Even people who don't follow the prophets will participate in the Gratitude Festival. Known as the Bajor Festival, it has been celebrated on Bajor for more than 20,000 years. The traditional greeting of the festival is Bajor Joy. Streets and homes are decorated for the festival, and sometimes people will exchange small gifts. Parties are to be held to celebrate with friends and family, and entertainers will perform for crowds of excited revelers. The most important part of the Gratitude Festival, however, is the renewal scroll. The presider of the festival lights a ritual fire, and then people write their problems on renewal scrolls and burn them as a symbolic gesture. In this way, the people give their burdens to the prophets. All of their problems are in the past, and they can look towards a brighter future. It is also very popular to burn batarat leaves during this time. The soothing scent of batarat leaves is now closely associated with the Bajor festival. It often inspires religious or pleasant thoughts in anyone familiar with Bajoran traditions. When people smell batarat incense, they know that the prophets are watching them. Perhaps the Bajorans need something that will calm their troubles and remind them of a better time. Try burning batarat incense throughout the city. I don't think I will, really. Read The Emissary's Early Life, a text for young readers. Benjamin Lafayette Cisco was born in 2332 in the city of New Orleans on Earth to Joseph and Sarah Cisco. Earth's a planet in the solar system. The people who live there are called humans. Cisco's mother left the family when the emissary was very young. His father soon remarried, and later the family expanded with the birth of a daughter and 2 more sons. Joseph Cisco is a chef who taught all his children his craft. They all worked together in the family restaurant. Work in the restaurant was hard but rewarding. Joseph Cisco didn't use replicators, so his family had to help in the kitchen to prepare food for the customers. Benjamin spent many nights after school or during his vacations preparing vegetables or washing dishes. Humans don't eat the same kinds of food as we do. One of the dishes that was served at the Cisco's restaurant is called jambalaya. Jambalaya is a stew-type dish with an earth grain called rice mixed with meats and vegetables. It can be very spicy, like hasperat. In 2350, Benjamin Cisco left New Orleans to attend Starfleet Academy. During his first weeks at the Academy, Cisco transported home every night to have dinner with his family. When you eat dinner with your family, what kind of food do you share? At Starfleet Academy, Benjamin Cisco studied very hard and made lots of friends. He was the captain of the Starfleet Academy wrestling team. He also visited space for the first time and met his good friend Curzon Dax. At this time, Benjamin Cisco didn't know anything about the prophets or their plan for his life, but they were guiding his every step, and many years later he would find their home in the Celestial Temple. Well, that's all the books now, I think. So let's talk to Vedic Kryn.
How may I help you?
I am here to return this orb to the temple.
Wonderful. The prophets have smiled upon us this day. What was lost has been returned to us. You have done a great service for the Bajoran people today, and we are most grateful.
It was an honor and a privilege to carry this burden.
Please, place the orb upon the altar.
The altar? Why? Thank you. The pleasure is mine, Vedic Crin. I gotta be marching. Gotta be dignified here, no running around. I have returned the Orb of Possibilities.
The service rendered is not the service desired. What does not belong cannot be returned.
I don't understand.
What has been returned does not belong. We must travel backward.
When we gaze in the mirror, we see our faces as others do, but reversed.
Your task abides. You have recovered an orb. Now you must return it.
As you must return.
Wow. That was kind of heavy. Vedic Crin?
I would be honored to know what the prophets shared with you, if you are willing. Sometimes their visions can be very confusing, and I have some experience interpreting them.
It was very cryptic, but they seem to suggest that this is not their orb. That I must return it elsewhere.
Elsewhere? But it is an orb of the prophets. Where else could it belong? Unless... Are you familiar with the so-called mirror universe? I know very little about it myself, but there is a book on that table over there by a Vedic Eth describing his experiences. Perhaps it can guide you.
Reading a book, you say? How unusual. But thank you, Vedic Crin. Welcome to Star Trek Book Reading Simulation on the Mirror Universe. I have been both fascinated by the experience of this so-called Mirror Universe ever since our recent contact with it. I have interviewed the emissary, Colonel Kira, and others about their experience with the Mirror Universe, but many questions remain. It seems the Mirror Universe has prophets, but are they the same prophets? There's no mention of the Celestial Temple, and certainly the Mirror Benjamin Sisko was no emissary. I shall petition the Vedic Assembly for permission to enter the Mirror Universe. The Vedic Assembly has denied my request. Besides the debates about doctrine and theology, the deciding factor was political. The Federation has quarantined any access to the Mirror Universe, and Bajor is seeking membership. I've continued my research by interviews, but my questions remain unanswered. I fear I have no choice but to renounce my seat in the Assembly and pursue entrance to the Mirror Universe on my own. I don't have the technological prowess to create one of those multi-dimensional devices myself. But I have an engineer friend that owes me a favor. I'm lucky to be alive. I managed to cross over to the Mirror Universe, but Terran, as they call Deep Space Nine, have been taken over by the Terran Rebellion. They're using it as a base of power, attempting to reassert their control over the Bajor sector. Bajorans are not trusted, and are used mostly for mining and ore processing. A cruel irony given Bajor's history in both universes. But I was able to join with the Bajoran workers and get some of my questions answered. The Bajorans of the Mirror Universe are much like us, and it sounds as if their prophets are also most similar. They even have orbs such as we have here. However, to them the Celestial Temple is myth or metaphor, not a physical place such as ours. I do not know if this is because it simply hasn't been discovered, or if the prophets of that universe have sealed themselves away for some reason. The only way to find out is to either cross over with the spaceship, or somehow procure one there. I've already received a curious message from someone in the Mirror Universe offering me assistance. Note: shortly after making this entry, Vedic Eth disappeared and was never heard from again.
Sarah's here.
We believe this orb is from the Mirror Universe. We think we can pass into it through an anomaly we found earlier.
Acknowledged. Be careful. The Mirror Universe is known to be more treacherous than our universe, and you will be cut off from any support here.
I appreciate the concern, Commander, but I think we'll be fine. Are you ready to beam up, sir? Yes, beam me up and set course for the Badlands.
Sarah's here. What is your status?
We've entered the Badlands and are heading to the anomaly.
Acknowledged. Keep comm lines open as long as possible.
Will do.
We have limited intelligence on the Mirror Universe, but from what we know, it appears the Terran Rebellion spread from Terok North, eventually forming a new empire. The Terran Empire has reoccupied Bajor. I believe this Captain Lita is the administrator of the Bajor sector.
Okay, take us to that anomaly, Helmsman. Anomaly in sight, sir.
I am Gul Haneri of the Torn, Chief Tactical Advisor to Gul Kardec of the True Way. You are not welcome here. Lower your shields and prepare to be boarded.
I don't think so. Red alert! Shields up! Load torpedoes!
I believe Gul Kardec must have used the orb from the Mirror Universe to somehow create the anomaly leading back there. He then must have formed an alliance with the Terran Empire. Stay on your guard. They are probably expecting you.
Bit late for that, they already contacted me.
Ship is under attack. Target's shield has failed. More shield failed.
Scan that anomaly. Sir, I believe we could activate the portal by bombarding it with tachyon radiation. Make the necessary modifications to the deflector dish. Take us to it. Bombarding. On portal, sir. Okay, let's go. Full speed ahead.
Greetings. I am Captain Lita of the Terran Empire. What a pleasure it is to have visitors from your universe. When Gul Kardec said you might be along, I didn't really believe him. but I couldn't afford to take the chance. Surrender, now, and I will guarantee the safety of your crew.
We will never surrender. Never give up. Never surrender. Damn the torpedoes and all that. Shields, red alert. Good. Load the torpedoes. Get ready to fight.
What a pity. We could have had so much fun together. And now, I have to destroy you.
You can try.
Warning. Ship is under attack. Target's shields have failed. Target's shields have failed.
Oh, what fun! I was really growing rather bored before you showed up.
Warning. Ship is under attack. Target's shields have failed. More shields failing.
Get those shields up.
Rear shield failing.
I apologize for the state of my troops. They've grown rather complacent. I shall have to provide a demonstration, apparently. Gul Kardec warned me not to underestimate you. I won't make the same mistake next time we meet.
That wasn't so hard in the end. Sir, we're clear to warp to Bajor. Let's do that and beam down. We've arrived on Bajor in the Mirror Universe. And what I've been able to pick up on comm chatter, Bajor was reconquered by the Terran Empire and is occupied by them again. We should be on our guard. Acknowledged. Weapons out then. Try and blend in like normal. Excuse me, Gardener?
I'm very busy. What do you want?
Oh crap, we're under attack.
Enemy targets on center.
Sir, those appear to be true way soldiers. Could they have followed us here through the portal? I believe it's more likely that they were Gul Kardec's troops, waiting for us. Let's go back to this Gardener. Who are you?
I'm very busy. What do you want?
What do you do?
What does it look like I'm doing? Microsurgery? I get my hands dirty, and I show farmers how to grow crops. We have a botanist, but he's one of those ivory tower scientific types that wouldn't know a hoe from a rake. I wanted to be an engineer, but when the Terrans retook Bajor from the Klingon-Cardassian alliance, opportunities suddenly dried up. So I fell back on the family tradition of gardening.
Okay.
No matter how many times Bajor gets conquered, it always seems to be a cultural backwater that relies on manual labor. We live in harmony with our world, just as the prophets intended, whether we like it or not.
Fair enough. Blue antenna.
Gul Kardec was right. You are formidable, but pitifully predictable. Terran forces, attack the invaders! I want them alive. Guards! Guards!
Off she runs.
We will meet again. Soon.
Okay, heal up.
You have interfered with my plans for the last time!
Keep fighting him, blast him to bits.
Stop! Fighting is not permitted here.
This is not your affair.
What? A changeling? Oh, he's got me! Ouch. Quick, somebody get over here. Help me. Capture him. So I'll heal up, get nice and healthy again. Hooray for medical fields. You know what, you lot just stand there in that field. While I admire the scenery. Yeah, okay.
What do you want with me?
Tell me about this place.
This is the heart of Hathon. The buildings surrounding this plaza were the first buildings constructed in our city. Here, our ancestors raised their families and gave thanks to the prophets for their many blessings. Once, people came here to talk to their neighbors, and we gathered here each year for the Gratitude Festival. But now it is only a place of dark memories. When the Terran Empire conquered Bajor the first time, they posted the new laws here. When the food rationing started, we came here to collect the scraps they gave us. When they took our sons and daughters to the mining camps, the trucks stopped here to collect them. And when the Terran Empire conquered us again, they hung the bodies of those who opposed them here to remind us to keep in our places. I come here to reflect on the fallen and the price of freedom.
And totally not to ogle a 40-foot high hologram, right? So where's that Vedic? There she is. On your lot, come give me a hand with her. Vedic Kryn, are you okay?
Thank you. I feel much better. But a changeling? Here? We only have stories. In any event, what was the purpose for your visit?
I have come to return your orb.
The Orb of Possibilities? But that was lost decades ago, during the first occupation of Bajor. However did you come by it? Never mind. The prophets teach us not to look at their workings too closely. Don't just stand there. Place it on the altar.
You're most welcome. Let's head into this temple. One thing I had heard is that there's a book here called, yes, On the Other Universe. There's another universe that lies alongside ours. There have been several crossover events throughout the centuries. These interactions have often been pivotal in our history. I was unable amid the recent turmoil to interview people directly about their experiences from the other universe. The Terran Rebellion took over Deep Space Nine and subsequently reoccupied Bajor, and weren't very interested in the questions of a pesky Vedic. The discovery of the Celestial Temple in their universe led to the discovery of the Celestial Temple in our universe. This left us with many questions. Why weren't these events synchronous in both universes? Are there other secrets that we could learn from this other universe? I shall petition the Vedic Assembly for permission to enter the other universe. The Vedic Assembly has denied my request. Besides the debates about doctrine and theology, the deciding factor was political. The Terran Empire considers the secret of crossing to the other universe a state secret. Bajor is already struggling under their thumb, and the Vedics don't want to create any further problems. I've abandoned my attempts to cross over at this time and am instead trying to make contact with the other universe. Perhaps if I can contact my own counterpart, we could join forces. I've managed to make contact with my counterpart in the other universe. I didn't reveal my identity, but I offered myself assistance. Should I make the crossover? My counterpart revealed many things about the other universe. The Bajorans are part of the Federation, a peaceful and seemingly weak counterpart to the Terran Empire. The Cardassians occupied Bajor and their universe. Their celestial temple led to the Gamma Quadrant, where a race called the Dominion dwelt and fought a war with peoples of the Alpha Quadrant. Amongst this empire called the Dominion, the leaders were a species that called themselves the Founders, but others called Changelings. A being called Odo, who worked on their Terak Nor, was apparently one of these creatures, but did not know his own origins. Their basic form appears to be liquid, but they could shift to virtually any form. The ability of these changelings to take the shape of various key personnel caused the other people no end of problems. I must notify the Assembly of my findings. Note: after reporting his findings, Vedic Eth disappeared under mysterious circumstances. Foul play was suspected, but never proven. Recorded from a sermon by Anjol Tenon. I'm sure you have many questions about the power rates, and I intend to answer them. The power rates are not what you have been told. They are not evil. They do not desire chaos or pain. They do not require sacrifice. The power rates' only crime is love. They loved the people of Bajor, and they wanted to help them. For that, they were cast out of the Celestial Temple. Have you ever asked yourself why the prophets stood idle while terrible things happened to good people? Why didn't they intervene when the Cardassians attacked? Why didn't they save the millions of people who suffered and died during the occupation? Why didn't the all-knowing, all-powerful prophets stretch out their hand and stop the Klingons from attacking Deep Space Nine? Why didn't they block the Dominion from ever entering the Alpha Quadrant? The answer is simple: because the prophets do not care about Bajor. They do not care about you. I've had a power wraith inside me. I could feel its love filling me. Its love for me and the Bajoran people was so complete, so awe-inspiring. I wish I had the words to describe it. In the instant I held the power wraith, I understood. I opened my heart to it, and I was forever transformed. The power wraiths are returning to the Celestial Temple. They are returning to Bajor, and when they do, Bajor will be transformed into the peaceful and bountiful land it was always intended to be. The prophets have abandoned Bajor. The power wraiths never will. We got that. That's the last book. I guess I didn't see it. It was all the way back in this back corner. Okay, let's go put this all back. Oh, need to find his pad. Oh, this is a temple. Okay, there's his pad.
From Gul Kardec to Gul Palat, I have run into some complications. Namely, some agents have interfered with my plans. They have stolen the Orb of Possibilities. I assume they have returned it to the Bajorans by now. Fortunately, the anomaly remains stable. I was able to retreat to the Mirror Universe, where I have taken shelter with my Terran allies. However, I believe they are waiting for my return. Therefore, I need you to meet with Dumatsu Khan at the facility in the Devos system in my stead. Coordinates are attached.
Ooh, another base we found. Another base find we have. In the Devos system. Okay, now we've done that, we can place the orb on the altar. Guess you'll all want to come with me. Walk in here. I have returned the Orb of Possibilities again.
We are most grateful. We had thought the orb lost forever. You have restored the balance.
Your enemies lie in wait. They want to prevent your return.
But we shall restore the balance as you did.
You have returned our orb.
Now you must return.
Sir, what just happened? You opened the orb case and suddenly everything went white and we appeared on the stitch in time in order to Bajor. And we appear to be back in our own universe. I believe the Mirror Prophets returned us. I must consult with Vedic Kryn. Excuse me, Vedic Kryn?
Greetings. I did not see you enter the temple.
I believe the Mirror Prophets returned me here.
Indeed. I know little of the Mirror Prophets, but if they are like ours, then this is a great honor. Rarely do the Prophets interfere so directly. I take it your mission was a success?
Yes, the orb is back in its proper place.
Then you have the gratitude of 2 Bajors. May the Prophets continue to smile upon you.
Thank you, Vedic Kryn. Leave the temple. We're not going to conduct business in a temple like that. That would be crass. Hey, I spoke to you in the Mirror Universe. What do you have to say here?
May the prophets bless you.
Tell me about this place.
This is the heart of Hathon. The buildings surrounding this plaza were the first buildings constructed in the city. Here, our ancestors raised their families and gave thanks to the prophets for their many blessings. It is here that people come to talk to their neighbors, and here that we gather each year for the Gratitude Festival. But it is also a place of dark memories. When the Cardassians had new laws we had to follow, they posted them here. When the food rationing started, we came here to collect the scraps they gave us. When they took our sons and daughters to the mining camps, the trucks stopped here to collect them. And when Gul Perek executed 15 farmers, he hung their bodies here to remind us that Bajoran lives were meaningless to him and his thugs.
Seems that the more life changes, the more it stays the same. That's pretty much the same story as from the other side, but just Cardassians and Terrans switching places. We'd say human nature, but Cardassians aren't human, so I guess it's just bipedal humanoid nature. Alright, let's go to a quiet spot out of the way. Over here should do. And let's contact base.
So, Gul Kardec was a changeling. This does not bode well. An alliance between the True Way and the Alpha Dominion could prove disastrous for the Alpha and Beta Quadrants. However, the orb has been returned to the Mirror Universe, and you have returned to ours. Nevertheless, we must stop this alliance before they can do any further damage. We shall analyze the pad you retrieved to see if we find this Ketracel White factory.
Okay, Commander, but I don't recall it saying there was a Ketracel White factory, just that it was a facility of some sort. But thank you. Okay, so we get our experience points, our expertise. And the lithium, we're going to pick one of these. What are our shield and our armor like? Our armor is a 4 and our shield an 8, so I think we need the body armor. Do we want energy dampening? What do we want? Polyalloy. Physical energy. Kinetic energy. I think we want the energy dampening armor.
How can I help?
Congratulations, Admiral.
And that just took us up 3 levels. Sir, we're being hailed by Admiral Quinn. On screen. Congratulations, Admiral. You have conquered yet another milestone on your journey through Starfleet. You still have challenges ahead of you, but I am confident that you'll be able to do anything you set out to do. Good luck. Thank you, Admiral. So I guess we've now gone to Rear Admiral Upper Half. Oh, nice. I think we just gained like 3 ranks at once. So there we go. Okay, so I think that about does it for this episode. In this episode, we went and tried to return an orb. Found it was not ours. Did a bunch of reading. Full-on library simulator there for a time. Went out to the Mirror Universe. Defeated a changeling, which I believe we have in our inventory. Yes, 1 defeated changeling. We returned the orb to the right prophets, met 2 sets of Bajoran prophets, and are now back on Bajor. But so with that, I want to thank you all for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please do hit like and subscribe. It really helps the algorithm push me up onto other people's playlists so that they can like and enjoy this as well. But until next time, I want to thank you from me and from Lobsang here. So long, take care, live long and prosper, and goodbye.